Welcome to Sport Wrap on Friday, the 7th of March. You are joined by the one and only Ashwin Berry, and I'm excited because you know what? I spent my entire morning with a suit and a tie, but when it's Sport Wrap time, it's time to let loose and enjoy the sports that we all love. What you can look forward to in today's show: Ours Motors backs Parky's under-13 rugby team with kid sponsorship. NAPSO schools head south for athletics. Clash of Titans in MTC Maris Cup semis. 4 combined regional teams compete in the first ever Namibia Rugby Union and main sponsor MTC's 15-a-side regional tournament. The Commerce Basketball Association League returns this weekend. We'll also be looking at the slips with JSB Bets, and that's when Brian Munango and Javon get it going. And of course, Ari Hohad will bring us the international sport. As I said, I'm Ashwin Berry. I don't like to waste time. Let's get into the hit list. The Parky's under-13 rugby team, reigning 3-time national champions, received a significant boost today as Ours Motors stepped forward as a kit sponsor ahead of their upcoming tour to Bella Bella, South Africa in April, providing valuable international exposure. Speaking at the event, Parky's under-13 Parents Committee member Stephanie Marcard expressed gratitude for the support, highlighting the need for corporate and individual contributions to ensure no player is left behind due to financial constraints. Ours Motors Managing Director Gerard Vermeulen, representing the Suzuki brand in Namibia, also addressed attendees, reaffirming the company's commitment to youth development through sports. With this partnership, the team hopes to inspire further sponsorships, enabling every player to seize this incredible opportunity. Have a look.
Good morning, everyone. I am Gerard Vermeulen. I am the Managing Director for Ours Motors, and it's a very proud moment for us to be here once again at Pioneers Park Primary School this morning, where we handed over the under-13 rugby team kit to them. The boys were very excited. It's a big honor for them to receive the rugby jerseys and the rugby trousers and so forth, and we are very excited to see them play this year. We've been involved with rugby at Parky's for quite a few years now, and we will continue to support them, and we wish them all the best for the league this year.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Marquardt. I'm one of the committee members working on the under-13 Parky's tour that's going to be happening in April. So you see me standing here in front of this incredible sign. We've been privileged to have the assistance of Ours Motors, and I believe for years now. So they really came out as one of our biggest sponsors to date, and they've taken our hands and really helped us to equip these boys. You'll see in the pictures as well. They look beautiful. Although we have additional needs for this tour that is kicking off in April, we do appreciate the valued support. They've really come to the party, and not just with the kit, with everything else concerning our tour, taken our hand, and we really want to thank them for that.
We're staying with the young'uns after the success of last year's sports and athletics events. The Namibian Private Schools Organization, NAPSO, is back to showcase young talent in the country. This year's journey begins with the highly anticipated National Athletics Competition taking place this weekend in Stampriet, with Al Natan hosting the event. Athletes from various NAPSO-affiliated schools will compete in different track and field events, with the top performers earning a spot to represent NAPSO in South Africa. Unlike previous years, where selections were made from both regional and national events, this year's top athletes will immediately advance to compete internationally. Additionally, NAPSO CEO Johan Andre Fourie hinted at the possibility of the top 10 athletes traveling to Europe for further competitions. Fourie emphasized that NAPSO's mission extends beyond competition, focusing on collaboration to uplift young athletes and provide provide them with greater opportunities. Meanwhile, private school Moria has been selected to host the prestigious NAPSO Securitas Private School Week, which is going to be happening later this year, adding to the exciting developments within the organization. For those unable to attend the event in person, or maybe you want to see it twice the same day, NTV will broadcast the games live on Saturday. Catch all the action on DSTV channel 285, Go TV channel 25, and online via our digital channel oneup2.com, as well as Network Media Hub on YouTube. All the best. Now, Mariento is set for an electrifying football showdown as African Stars, Young African FC, Bucks Buccaneers, and UNAM compete for the 1.5 million Namibian dollar MTC Maris Cup prize. With the tournament nearing its climax, only 2 teams will advance to the final in Windhoek. African Stars are the favorites, but Young African and Bucks Buccaneers are also in top form. The semi-finals at Mariento Sports Stadium will see Young African face UNAM at 2 p.m. or Saturday, followed by African Stars against Bucks Buccaneers at 5 p.m. Bucks Buccaneers coach Woody Jacobs is confident in his squad's talent, while African Stars coach Benedictus Harseb remains optimistic despite limited cup experience. Bucks Buccaneers reached the semis after a dramatic 1-0 win over KK Palace. African Stars edged Mighty Gunners 1-0, and Young African secured their spot with a 1-0 victory over Ongos FC. This is still the hit list, and we're going to keep swinging right after the break. Now, back in high school, we called it ragas, and the more reasonable people just know it as rugby. 2 potentially exciting matches await at the Hage Geingob Stadium. A long-discussed experiment will finally come to life on Saturday as 4 combined regional teams compete in the first ever Namibia Rugby Union and main sponsor MTC's 15-a-side regional tournament. The goal is to provide players with a higher level of competition than the NRU Premier League, which consists of 9 clubs, helping ambitious players bridge the gap to test and professional international rugby. The new NRU Premier League season begins on March 15 and will be played in a single round, with the final scheduled for June 7. This leaves several open weekends before Namibia's national team competes in July at the Rugby Africa Cup tournament in Kampala, Uganda, to secure a coveted qualification spot for the 2027 Rugby World Cup in Australia. Rehoboth and the Coastal region are also set to host similar rotational matches between the 4 regional teams later. The 4 teams are the Coastal Samurais, built around Simone Storm Dolphin and FNB Kudus from Walvis Bay; Central, FNB Wanderers and FNB Western Suburbs; the Hardap Wolves, a combination of FNB Rio Falcon, FNB Rehoboth and FNB Grootfontein from the north; and Northern Force, which is Trasco United and FNB UNAM. Saturday's matches at Hage Geingob Stadium will see Northern Force take on the Coastal Samurais at 2 p.m., followed by Comas against the Hardap Wolves at 3:45. While factors such as injuries and work commitments may impact the traveling team's ability to field their strongest lineups, Saturday's matches present a valuable opportunity to strengthen these relatively new combinations and raise the intensity of the tournament in the coming rounds. This is super exciting. Super exciting. Just think about not just the amalgamation of players, but the amalgamation of fans, and some of those teams, especially at the coast, they're rivals, and now they're going to be playing together, trying to see who can be the best of the best. Exciting times ahead of us. And guess what? I'll be at the stadium announcing, so make sure you're there. Now, the Comas Basketball Association League returns this weekend for some hoops, bringing thrilling matchups across various divisions as the new season tips off at the University University of Namibia's Jim Hall. Defending champions UNAM Rebels Men's Premier League and UNAM Phoenix Women's Division will look to maintain their dominance, while BAS Vikings First Division and NUST Gladiators of the Second Division aim to build on their championship successes from last season. The action begins today at 5 p.m. with the Women's Premier League clash between UNAM Wildcats and Legends, followed by a First Division showdown between UNAM Penguins and UNAM Raiders at 7 p.m. before AfroStars face Quality Basketball Club in a Men's Premier League battle at 9 p.m. Saturday's fixtures kick off with Second Division encounters, starting with UNAM Vipers versus UNAM Pacers at 10, followed by Atlantic Thunders against UNAM Knights at 11:30 in the morning, and Osona Braves taking on Lepers Basketball Club at 1 p.m. The excitement continues at 3 p.m. with all-star events including a shooting contest, slam dunk showcase, and three-point challenge. All-star matchups feature Team Shocks against Team Parker, a wheelchair basketball game between KBA Select Wheelchair Basketball Kings and Wheel Ability Basketball Club at 5 p.m. and the grand finale at 6 p.m. as the Team World faces Team Namibia. Tell you what, we've got our own basketball. You guys can have LeBron James if you like. I'm quite happy where we are. Now, in the last of our hit list, floorball team departs for World Winter Games. That is right. The Namibia Sports Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service, held a farewell ceremony for the floorball team representing Namibia's Special Olympics movement at the 2025 Special Olympics World Winter Games in Turin, Italy from March 8 to 16. Minister Agnes Shongarero emphasized this milestone, praising the athletes' perseverance and determination, stating, "You are more than just athletes, you are ambassadors of hope." The government has allocated 403,000 Namibian dollars and $800 to support the team's participation. Special Olympics Namibia National Director Levian Smith commended the players' dedication and resilience, noting that their journey is not just about competition, but about showcasing what is possible when diversity is embraced and opportunities are created for all. The 8-member floorball team, comprising students from Morrison Special School in Commersdal, has undergone rigorous training for this prestigious event. The players include Captain Quinton Kayeb, Hashiti Henok, Fredericks Moses, Salufu Limbo, Shiramba Uwanjombura, Kashivive Kawatengere, Tuneko Vependukirapo, and Marco Titus. The delegation, led by Levian Smith, is accompanied by experienced coaches and medical staff to ensure the athletes' well-being and peak performance. Team captain Quinton Gayab expressed the players' excitement and pride, stating, "It's our first time traveling to Italy and we are thrilled. We will cherish every moment and build relationships with fellow athletes." The 2025 Special Olympics World Winter Games will feature over 1,500 athletes from 100 countries competing in 8 winter sport disciplines, with Namibia exclusively participating in floorball, a proud moment for the nation on the global stage. Minister Shongarero encouraged the team to embrace the experience and give their best on the field, reminding them that their journey will inspire future athletes with intellectual disabilities and prove that opportunities exist for all. The team departed last night and will return on March the 17th, with Namibia standing firmly behind them on this historic journey. We certainly wish them all the best. We're going to take a quick break before we return with the Slips with Javon and Brian.
Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Feel like I should go.
So, English Premier League is back. Of course, there was Champions League action this last week. My team Arsenal getting it done. Historic win 7-1. A little shaky for Liverpool, but they also won 1-0. Now, Javon and Brian are going to be looking at the Premier League fixtures, and I'm just going to let you guys know, they're both Manchester United supporters. Manchester United is playing Arsenal on Sunday. I'm not saying they're not capable of cogent analysis. I'm just saying there's a little bias, and I expect it because that's what rivals do. Here's Javon and Brian.
Well, like Jesse said, he's very excited for the food that we are making in the kitchen. But that was a very interesting chat to listen to between Jesse and Julene. Tell us more about how they were watching football in 1991, 92. I don't think I was alive back then. I was still Dangasa, and maybe just a thought. But like, once again, like we said, it's Friday. We are very excited. There are big games to look forward to. And with me, as per usual, to just break down the weekend games. I don't think we've had luck yet. But this weekend, hear me out. Javon, how are you doing, brother?
Pretty well. I'm having some of this slapjacks, as Jesse would say. No, International Women's Day, I would like to say a special shout out, obviously, to my wife and to all the wonderful ladies there at JSB Sports Betting that make sure that the punters are sorted with their bets and with their deposits.
Okay, now the ladies here?
And obviously the ladies here in the crew as well, yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to say that, but anyways.
Okay, talk to me. Champions League. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's see. We saw you saw the results. We saw some shocking results in the Champions League. I think for me the biggest shock has to be Arsenal. That 7-1 win was very, very dramatic. But yeah, looking at the fixtures, which games excited you the most? And going into the second leg,
Obviously, the standout is the Premier League teams doing so well. Just shows the strength that the Premier League sides have in the Champions League. 7-1 was quite remarkable there. Liverpool also just clinching it. It's a controversial match there. Yeah, I mean, Inter Milan, they are my favorites. Personally, I like them very much, yeah.
Okay.
I think they can go all the way. I think one of the shock results for me personally was Leverkusen going 3-0 down to Bayern Munich. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough for Leverkusen to come back, even though they're playing at home in the next fixture. But I think it's all done and dusted in that match, same as Inter. But the other games, same as Arsenal as well. I think that game is written off. And perhaps Villa going back. I mean, Asensio is doing pretty well there. Yeah, 2 times Champions League winner. It just shows his expertise and his knowledge and his experience in that competition. Okay,
looking at the results, Javon, do you see any upsets? Like, for example, Atletico Madrid still have to play Madrid at their house, only needing a goal. And then looking at the likes of Dortmund, I don't know what to make of that game, but I personally feel Lille is beating Dortmund in the second fixture. Inter Milan done and dusted. Liverpool, Paris, PSG don't want to go to Anfield trailing. That's what I believe personally. And then, like you said, Bayern Munich, it's going to be too much of a big mountain for Leverkusen to climb. And Benfica going back to Santiago Bernabeu.
You mean the Camp Nou?
Camp Nou, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like another tough task.
Correct. I agree with you there. I do feel, if I had to pick an upset with some value, that Atletico Madrid could possibly knock Real Madrid out of the Champions League. It's going to be extremely difficult, though. But at the same breath, I'm telling you now, Real Madrid are going to find it difficult at Atleti's home. The crowd, the intensity of Diego Simeone. I know the players will be fired up for that one. So if, as a punter myself, I'll put some money on Atleti.
I disagree with you, Jeff. I think out of all the teams you could have gone for, the kings of the Champions League are not the team that you want to go up against.
You need to look at upsets. But anything is possible. We've seen it a couple of times, numerous times actually, in football. Anything is always possible.
Okay, so before we do get to the upsets, not upsets, but before we do get to the betting tips for the weekend, how we can be making money, the top goal scoring chart looks very interesting. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. We're used to seeing the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Benzemas. Lewandowski is still a part of those strikers in that time. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the top goal scorers in the Champions League? I mean, Serhou Guirassy playing for Dortmund. I think he plays for Guinea as the top goal scorer in the Champions League.
Yeah, well done to our African brother over there. Hopefully they can go all the way and he can clinch that top scorer award. I think Rafinha also is having an outstanding season with Barcelona. And then obviously you have the Lewandowski and Kane consistencies, always scoring, always on the score sheets there. But yeah, I would love for our African brother to win. It depends on what the match is, as you said, against Lille, how far they could possibly go there. If not, they'll probably end up 10, maybe get one more in the next match, 11. But Rafinha, for me, he's been really outstanding. I mean, he's a player that will probably be nominated in the near future for Ballon d'Or.
Looking at how he came from Leeds and how he established himself at Barcelona, I can understand where you are coming from. We had a big winner earlier on in the week. You and I spoke about this. From $10, $11, this person walked away with close to $11,000, $12,000.
Yeah, close to 12. Because as you can see there on your screen,
$11,000 from just $10.
yeah.
Run that through, Javon.
I mean, look at those odds. We're looking at 930 odds, eh?
Pulling that off is crazy. This guy went for Champions League game, 2 PSL games, the obvious games to go for. Stellenbosch taking on Marumo Gallants, Kaiser Chiefs playing Magesi, whatever that team's name is, and then a few championship sides. $10 could win you all this money, guys. This is just to show you that it is possible with JSB Sports Betting. $10, get to 900 odds, and you can win yourself 11,000 easily.
As you can see, it's a cocktail of selections there. It's not just straight wins. He went with goals. He went with goals under. He went with the results, straight wins. I mean, total goals. It's always good to combine different markets into one bet slip. It gives you a better opportunity there. So take your time, analyze some football matches this weekend. Premier League is back once again. So we're looking forward to that massive clash on Sunday at Old Trafford. We'll probably touch on that in a bit. Yeah, so yeah, take a chance and you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, well, since we do not have much time, let's start off with your bet slip for the weekend. I see you went very light on this one, and I actually think, because of what I saw on your slip, I'm now reconsidering mine, and I don't want to show it anymore, but okay, I'll still show mine. Please run us through your bet slip.
Liverpool, Anfield, playing Southampton. We know Southampton's form in the Premier League this season. I don't need to touch much on that. Aston Villa, I like them. Good form. As we said, Asensio is on fire. Rashford, a couple of others, Bailey and company. I think Aston Villa can clinch it. Although Brentford are doing pretty well. They are doing very well. I do feel Aston Villa can clinch that. With that odds, I'll take that bet.
Spurs, you need to explain Spurs.
Spurs, inconsistent Spurs. We saw in the Europa, they couldn't score against AZ Alkmaar, although they beat the team in the group stages. I do feel that they'll be a little bit stronger for the Bournemouth, especially at home. So for those odds, I'll also take them, and then obviously ending with United and Arsenal. Both teams to score. United always conceding once again in the Europa League against Sociedad. I do feel like United can score. What the result will be, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Well, let's run through mine quickly. Mine, I think, is a bit shorter. I always tend to go a little bit safer than Javon does. So my idea is I'm going with City to beat Nottingham Forest. The odds are stacked up against City. It's not very often that you find City at odds of 1.86 or close to even, you know. So I'm going with Manchester City to get the best of Nottingham Forest. Liverpool, we do have a Southampton fan in the house, by the way.
Oh, we do?
Unfortunately. Yeah, but okay, speaking on Liverpool, I do think Liverpool will get past Southampton very easily. I might change that to a handicap 2-5. So I see at least like a 3-0-4 if they're not careful. And then Brighton against Fulham. Brighton are in very good form. Welbeck just got back into the game. So I think Welbeck will also get a few points for us there. And then Crystal Palace and Ipswich. Mateta is injured, got that head injury, but he's deemed okay by the coach. I'm going to go 2-5 because I'm not sure how that game will go. And I think Delap for Ipswich is always guaranteed to score. So those are my games. 8 odds. But if I'm being honest, I might change my mind and actually go for Javon slip and just maybe tweak it a little bit. And then we'll see how that goes. But prediction, before we do close off with the big announcement that you do have, tell us your prediction for the Manchester United and Arsenal game.
I think there's a lot of goals in that game. I think Arsenal also, well, they definitely will score, considering United's defense. But I do feel like United can perhaps win it at home, although the format doesn't suggest that. I would go with United 2-1.
United 2-1. I'm going to go both teams to score, but I'm going to sit on the fence and say a draw. And yeah, we've been told we're out of time, so just drop us that big announcement.
So tomorrow, quickly, Soccer 13, we have a $21 million pool. Make sure you get your bets in early. And then we have Give Me Another, which is a South African horse taking on the American horses tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. It's 29 minutes to midnight. So big horse, a lot of backing. Whoever can watch it at that time should, and whoever can put some money on, I guarantee that's the tip of the weekend.
Give Me Another taking on horses in the US. That's going to be very interesting. Well, that's all the time that we do have for you. I hope you guys took down your notebooks and took down some notes. And hopefully you guys can make yourselves some big money this weekend with JSB Sports Betting. From Javon and I, it is goodbye.
Your life could change at any second, but you'll never know until you take the chance. Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first from the Europa League. It is last 16 games that was played, and the first leg games, and it's Manchester United that played against Real Sociedad, and it ended in a 1-1 draw. For Man United, it was Joshua Zirkzee that scored first for them, but then it was in the 70th minute Mikel Oyarzabal that scored a penalty, and that made the score 1-1. So the second leg will be played at Old Trafford. That will be on Thursday the 13th of March. Other games that was played in Europa League, it was Frankfurt with a good away win against Ajax. It was at Ajax, a 2-1 that score. Then Lyon also win away at home. They beat FCSB by 3-1. FCSB is a team from Romania. And then Alkmaar, they win at home, and that was a game against Tottenham Hotspur. The score there for Alkmaar was 2-1. On to rugby news. A big Six Nations rugby coming up this weekend. Ireland face France. That is in Dublin. So team news from Ireland is that Captain Caelan Doris, he's returning back. He had a knee injury, didn't play against Wales, and on Saturday against France he will also earn his 50th cap. Not good news for Mac Hansen. He's a winger. He's still out injured. So that kickoff time is 4:15, and that is in Dublin. That game will be followed by Scotland at home against Wales. That is 7:15, that's Namibian time. And then on Sunday, England play Italy, and that kickoff time is 5 p.m. That's Namibian time.